Okay, so I'm outside the Ashford Cinema and I'm about to go watch the film Monkey, which is a adaptation of a book written by Stephen King. It's one of these little short stories by Stephen King, which is about a monkey that whenever you come into contact with it, bad stuff happens. Let's go check this film out. So I'm back from Monkey, and I'll be honest with you, this film was bloody brilliant. It was properly hilarious and gruesome and just nasty in places, but at the same time the sense of humour, it was brilliant. Now, I was in the cinema with about, I think there was like 4 or 5 other people in the cinema with me, and everyone was laughing at the cues. So as soon as there was like a funny moment, people would laugh, and we were all laughing together a few times, a couple of us laughing out loud at certain points in this movie. So a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, this is a Stephen King adaptation. So obviously, Stephen King isn't necessarily known for his humour in his stuff. There is always a bit of comedy moments in his like novels and such. And then when it translates to film, they usually put the comedy into that. This one has definitely got a lot of the comedy and the sense of humour, and a few little subtle nods to previous Stephen King works as well. Now, this first half of the review is going to be a sort of spoiler-free part. After I've done the spoiler-free part, I'll let you know. I'll put a little spoiler bit across the bottom here so you know when they're coming. And then we'll talk more spoilers of the film. So let's get into the sort of review side of this film. This film was done by James Wan, and it was brilliant, as I said before. The story is basically some boys are left a toy monkey, like an organ grinder's monkey, from their dad, and it's kind of like one of those. It's like I've got a drum and it drums. It's like just like one of those little things, you know, you usually get the cymbal clapping ones. It's that, but with a drum. And apparently, from what I've heard from reviews, they couldn't use the cymbal clapping one because Toy Story owned the rights to that, apparently. So in this, they used the drum one instead. And it's got a creepy ass face. It's the eyes and that smile. It is creepy as hell. So you've seen it from the movie poster, so you know what his thing looks like. And it's quite big as well. It's quite like chunky. And the premise of this thing is every time it does the drumming and it plays its little song, we get a death happen. And it's a random death. And if you like the film Final Destination, or that whole franchise, this is a film for you. Because the deaths are very similar to Final Destination. They're all accidental type deaths. So like something will happen which will trigger something else and then boom, someone dies. So it's very cleverly done. So instead of having like the Final Destination film, it's death and that shadowy sort of figure you see as death. You now see this monkey and then something will randomly happen. And this is where some of the comedy comes in, because some of the stuff that randomly happens is funny, not in a nice like ha 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 funny. It's so gruesome and so shocking that you're like, oh my god, you laugh at it, and it wants you. So this film wants you to laugh at these points, and some of these sort of one-liners that come following the deaths or around the deaths, or the little things, nods that the characters do in the film. Oh my god, very well done. I said this is a Stephen King adaptation, so you've got to expect the Stephen King style twists in the film that he usually does in his books. I've never read this one, but now I really want to go out and find it and read it. And I was thinking it was part of the Batman books that he did, so I need to sort of try and find this little story and find out and read it. Because I've read a few Stephen King. I've read like It, I've read Langoliers, I think I read that a long time ago. And I've read like quite a sort of Shining and Carrie. I've read all the sort of major ones. This one's definitely a real good one to like get my teeth into, so I kind of want to read that now, because I'm trying to get back into reading myself. As far as the style, the way it's shot is pretty decent. Some of the CGI a little bit off in places, but you can forgive it for what's happening. It's like one of those where it's like the bad CGI kind of makes it better in a way, because you're watching this chaos and it's kind of works a bit with the film. The acting's pretty good. It's got that guy that played, I can't remember his name. It was remember those Divergent films? He's kind of like the male sort of hero in those. I think his name was Thor in that or something. I can't remember, but it's him. Who's also in the In-Betweeners movie. He plays the nasty holiday rep that kind of like steals all Simon's clothes and just is a git the whole way through the film. It's him as well. So I think he's British. Actually, it's good if he's British, because he's done a very convincing American accent either way. So definitely like good actors. There's also the woman that plays She-Hulk is in it as well. So I did that thing where I'm sitting looking at it, I know you. What do I know you from? And I'm like doing the when you see her, and she kept coming back on screen. The more she came back on screen, I was like, I know you, and then suddenly it clicked. It's She-Hulk. So she's in it as well. And this film, it's one of those films where you're kind of itching to know what's going to happen. and you kind of have a feeling there's a bit of a twist coming, and as soon as it happens, you're like, oh, okay, now you get it, and then it's good. So the whole film is basically narrated by the two boys. So these two twin boys that have been given the monkey, will find the monkey because of their father, and then if you turn the key on the monkey, people die. So the story follows, the beginning of the film is a narration from an adult version of one of these young boys, and it goes through sort of what's happened, them finding the monkey, and the monkey killing certain people, and then them realising they have to get rid of the monkey or destroy the monkey, and they go about trying to do that. So that's the first style of the movie, and then you sort of get more story of the adults coming later. It's very much like that. So, with that being said, it is well worth a watch, especially as I said before, if you're a fan of Final Destination and those type of films, you're definitely going to enjoy this one, because this is right up that street. It's very much the same style. It's that shock death, the shock factor, that, oh my god, how's this person going to die? You know something's going to happen, how is it going to happen? And you're trying to work out yourself how it happens. You see certain things around areas, and you're like, well, that's obviously going to come back in later. That's going to come back to play later. It's that sort of thing. It gets your brain going at the same time, but you sit back, you enjoy this film. Don't go in there thinking it's going to be serious like some of the Stephen King stuff is. Just sit there and think you're going to have a good fun time. It's ridiculous, but it's good. So definitely go out and check this one out. Now, if you have checked it out, we're now going to move on to the spoiler side of it. So I'm going to put up the little spoiler symbol. So as we are now entering spoiler territory, I do recommend again that you go and see this film before you go into this portion of the video. I've purposely changed my title to jumper off to show that it's like different part of the video now. We're going to have spoilers, should be written across there if I remember to put it in the video. So as again, I do recommend you go and watch the film before you get to this part, because I don't want to spoil any of the surprising deaths or anything for us. Again, some more spoilerific talk. I'm not going to go fully spoiler, I'm just going to do some spoilers. So to explain the deaths in this film, it's very Final Destination. So the very first death you see, there's a guy in a pilot's outfit covered in blood, goes into a shop to sell the monkey to the guy behind the counter. And the guy's like, this broken, it's not even working. And the guy's saying, we do not want that drum to come down. And suddenly the drum starts drumming. And it plays that song from the seaside. Do you remember when you were a kid, you go to the seaside, you hear that, oh, I do like to be beside the seaside, oh, I do like to be beside the sea. That song. Now, that reminds me very much of my childhood being at the beach with the whole like Punch and Judy and that weird organ thing used to play it. And it's that song it's playing as it's doing the drumming, right? Well, that then stops. And the guy in the pilot's uniform starts looking around terrified, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then we suddenly see, this is where we get Final Destination, this little rat starts gnawing at this little rope. And in the corner of the shop is this deep sea diver thing, and it fires a harpoon into the shopkeeper, and then the harpoon retracts and pulls his intestines out with it. So that's the level of like gore and stuff in this film, and surprising deaths. Again, very like Final Destination, where something will fall over and knock something. It's that. Is how the deaths are in this film. It's pretty much all the deaths happening in this film is because of something like that. So as I said before, the film follows these two brothers that then inherit this monkey from the dad. They find it in a cupboard, and then they end up accidentally killing the babysitter because they wind the key in the back. So the whole point of the film is, if you wind that key in the back, it will start the monkey off to do its drumming bit, and then someone dies. But the person that dies is random. You don't know who it's going to be, and that's an important plot point in the film later on. You don't know who it's going to be. So they wind the key, drumming, nothing happens. Then they go out with the babysitter to one of these Chinese restaurants. So they do the choppy Chinese stuff. It's really fancy. Get in America. I don't think you get much over here with the guy sort of like a ninja warrior chef who's on the middle of the table. Everyone else sits around the table as he does his fancy knife tricks and flips stuff into people's mouths. One of those type of restaurants. Well, suddenly you see in the car that the monkey's now in the car with them. They then go in the restaurant, leave the monkey behind, but now the monkey's in the front seat of the car, and he starts. And then the ninja chef guy does with a knife, and then you look to the babysitter. The two twin boys look at the babysitter, and her head just falls off into the plate because it's getting cut by one of the knives, and it falls on the hot plate. So it's like sizzling away. You see the blood boiling and sizzling away. It was like, oh my god. So that's, I mean, these deaths come from nowhere. So then you find out that the one of the twin boys is bullying the other one, quite horrifically bullying him actually, sort of with a gang of girls at school, really taking the mick and bullying out this one. It's one of the glasses, kind of like the sort of more introverted one. He's getting bullied by the other one. And he finally loses his temper and he wants to kill his brother. So he turns the dial on the monkey, says to the monkey, please kill my brother, please kill my brother. The brother comes home from school and you're waiting for him to die, and then he said the mum dies. She has like an aneurysm or something in her head and she drops down dead. and it's kind of like, oh my God, it's killed the mum instead. So then you work out that you can't control who dies. So then the brothers get moved to the aunt and uncles. The aunt and uncle are just horrible, not horrible, but they're just not parents. So they're not very good at what they're doing. Again, the thing gets turned because they want to test the theory, does it kill people? And then you find it kills the uncle, and he dies in a rather horrific way by being trampled by horses. You kind of see it, but you don't see it. But it's what the reveal of what's happened to him is horrific. So then we move on a bit more, and we sort of get the boys now trying to like get rid of the monkey. They one tries to kill it with a meat cleaver, and it just comes back. So they decide to trap it in the box it came in and dump it in a well. And you assume that's it. Then you get the 25 years later, and we sort of move on to the second half of the film, which is the sort of the adults of the two twin boys. And one of the glasses hasn't spoken to his brother in years, and he's got a son that he only sees once every year, which is kind of weird. But they're kind of a very distant relationship, and the mum of is with this horrible guy who's played by Elijah Wood, and it's just literally like Elijah Wood is the worst type of person. He's an evangelist parent, is the only way I can describe him, where he's got all these books about being the perfect parent, but he's only a stepdad, and he wants to take and adopt the son so that the dad's gone forever. And they're talking to Dad about it, and he's just like, the dad's not really into lot with the son because he's trying to keep away this curse of this monkey. He's worried it's going to come back for the son, which is why he's distanced himself from his son, which I thought was quite a nice like touch to sort of show that he's kind of a hero type. And then you sort of then he gets a phone call. So sorry, he's going to take his son on a road trip. Then he gets a phone call from his brother to say, look, just saying the monkey's back. And he's like, oh, I don't really want to know. But the brother's saying, you need to go to the house, find the monkey, and get rid of it the way we did before. So he's like, oh, Christ. So he decides to go on the road trip with his son he has to go to the house that his aunt used to live in and get the monkey back. More people have died up to this point, so the monkeys keep it. But before he goes to go get the monkey, you get the death that you might have seen in the trailer with a woman about to jump into a swimming pool that's electrified. Now, in my head, I thought she's going to hit the water and zzz. So you get another Final Destination bit where a fan sort of rattles off of a shelf, falls into the water that is connected to a hose which goes into the pond, and you see the sort of electricity flowing into the swimming pool. She then gets on the diving board, as we've got our guy with the glasses outside who's been on the phone to his brother. He's watching this unfold, sees it, goes to try and shout to not to jump. She jumps. As she hits the water, I'm expecting and burnt or something. She explodes. She hits the water and explodes. Like her body parts go everywhere, and there's a lot of body parts going everywhere in this film. It's a very much explosive film. This leg sort of hits him. He's like, oh my God, a leg. So that's again the humour of this film. It's like, oh, a leg, like that sort of thing. So that sort of humour in this film. And again, I'm laughing. Everyone in the audience is laughing. Like the people who are in the cinema with me, everyone's laughing at these same points. These same little one-liners that come after the death. They're laughing at those as well. This film is great. It is a roller coaster ride, and it is great. And I recommend you go and watch it. If you haven't, please stop it. Go watch it and come back. So we now get our sort of like hero brother. He gets to town, and you find out that this is the spoiler bit now, that the other brother is actually trying to kill the glasses brother. So non-glasses brother, who's the nastier one, is trying to kill a sort of hero type one who's the father. And what he's been turning, so it's him that's turning the key of the monkey. He has the monkey. He actually went back down into the well as a child after working out that his brother had turned the key and killed his mum. And this is his like revenge for his mum being murdered by the monkey, but he blames it on the brother for turning the key. So he's gone back down, got the monkey out, or tried to get the monkey out, couldn't find it, but he's got just the key. And in adult life, the monkey comes back. He then finds the monkey again, and he's now using it to try and kill the brother. But he's killing everyone but the brother. So then he works out, maybe if I get the son to turn the key, it will kill the other brother, like the one with the glasses. So he basically tries to get the son to turn the key. So he gets, his whole thing has been like a trap to get the son back to that town, to where they all are, and to get him to turn the key. So we get to a point where this happens. There's a few more deaths along the way. I don't want to get into all of them. There's a few more deaths along the way. One really good one with a hornet's nest, which is brilliant. And we get a big final showdown where the son's in the house. He's got the monkey. He's turning it. This is where the hornet's nest death happens, but still, again, doesn't kill the dad. So the dad gets into the house to try and save his son. And the main like bad brother at this point has kind of lost it. He grabs the monkey and he's trying to force it to do the drum. And obviously this must be some weird sort of unwritten rule. So he's trying to force it to do the drum, and suddenly the monkey starts going mental drumming, not with the song or anything, just mentally drumming so much that the floor around is shaking, so these little stones like wobbling around, and it's just going proper berserk, really fast drumming. And a guy's lying on the floor, he's just sort of like, what have I done? Have I done something wrong? Have I done something wrong? Like, what have I done? So you look out the window and there are planes falling, the whole neighbourhood is just like explosions everywhere, and there's all hell breaking loose. There's some people that have jumped obviously out of the plane that blew up, have parachuted down, they fall through dead bodies on the floor, the woman with the parachute gets sort of hung on the parachute. It's proper carnage going, so obviously by him going like mental, he's just killing like so many people around him. And then it's like, he sort of comes to his sense like, oh my God, what have I done sort of thing, and then he reconciles with the brother, and then you get the nut one nasty death with like his cannon basically goes off, and a bowling ball that you saw earlier, which is previously referenced in the film, smashes into this guy's head, and you get this whole link with the whole like, he wanted to kill his brother by dropping a cannonball on his face earlier on in the film, when he was thinking it was like a fantasy he had about dropping this like sort of cannonball, a bowling ball on his face, and it actually happens later on. So we get our good brother still sort of alive, and the nasty one, even though they tried to reconcile, they're going to try and sort it out, he's now dead. And then you get a hilarious scene where they're going back through the town, and you can see all the carnage that's gone into this town. And the brother and the son, the dad and the son are kind of like sorting it out between themselves like this. You kind of have this feeling that they're going to go off together. They never tell you something. This is where I believe this film, there's more to it. I believe there's a director's cut that explains a lot more. It feels like there's a lot missing from this movie. The whole Elijah Wood story with the two parents, they're trying to adopt him. We don't go back to that. And I was expecting us to go back to that and seeing them die. But now I just thought about it, I didn't stay to the end credits. What if there's an end credit scene? If you stay to the end credits, just let me know if there is an end credit scene. Don't spoil it for everyone else in the comments, but just let me know if there was one that I missed that would have explained something. Because there are a few things that are left open in this film. And the ending's very open as well, for like possible they could do a sequel if they wanted to. If they don't, oh well. But you kind of get a vibe that the film, that the father and son have kind of like worked out their differences, obviously, because he doesn't see him that much. You think there's going to be a better relationship there afterwards. But you get a proper, and I call this the Final Destination, like nail in the coffin. Because again, this is very Final Destination. I know I've said it a few times, but that's the only way I can describe it. Where you get an end scene, which is horrific, where a bus full of cheerleaders drive along like that, and there's a load of they're all leaning out the window with their pom-poms like that, and this lorry comes past and just decapitates all of them. And it's horrific. And it's just like the final nail in the coffin of this film. That's when you go to the credits and stuff after you see that. But it's a weird few moments in the film. It does go very to the bizarre side of Stephen King. The real sort of bizarre side. Like you see at the end of the film, you see like a guy, like it looks like, I suppose it's like Death, I suppose, he's on a white horse with his flames going. I think they sort of reference it earlier on in the film. And you see him sort of riding, and it's all ghostly like, and he looks at him, gives him a nod. It's a really weird sort of scene at the end of the film that kind of comes from nowhere. But I do feel there's bits missing. I feel like again, if it was in the end credit scene, oh my God. But about the mum and the adoptive dad Elijah Wood character, I feel like we could have gone back to that and seen something there. But now I've got this horrible feeling that I might have missed an end credit scene that would show that, because it wouldn't make any sense not to go back to that. So now I'm like, But basically the end of the film is the father and son, they'll go off, but they've also got the monkey. They work out that they can, if they keep the monkey with them, I guess they can kind of like no one will turn that key if they look after it and they stop it from being used for whatever reason. But again, I come out of cinema, I laughed a lot during that film. It was comical. I will definitely want to watch it again. So I already kind of got this feeling I want to watch it again, but I have a feeling there's going to be a director's cut when it comes to DVD. I've got a weird feeling there's a director's cut of that movie out. It's kind of like when I watched Wolfman a couple of weeks ago. I felt there's stuff missing from that. This is again very similar. I felt there's bits missing that would have explained a bit more. And there's a lot more that I kind of wanted to know more about. And I think that there's a director's cut out there which kind of fills those gaps in. Again, it's a Stephen King, so his films were often, his books and that were often very open to interpretation, a lot of stuff. And I think that maybe this film's like open to interpretation, like where are they going to go from here? Are they going to go back to the adoptive parents? Are they going to use the monkey to finish off the adoptive parents? You know, they've got no real control, but will it happen? Maybe that's a sequel coming, I don't know. But it was a great film. And again, if I have spoiled anything for you, I've tried to be less spoilery at this point. There was a few plot points I've probably spoiled, and there's a few deaths I've probably spoiled, but there are a lot more deaths that I haven't. But definitely, if you guys like this video, please again always like, subscribe. My kids are trying to get, they're desperate to get like 500 subscribers. They think that's some sort of like weird mecca thing. But thank you to everyone that has subscribed, and I hope you still subscribe after this. If you're new to the channel, there's obviously a lot more videos on there. I do a few more reviews, I do trailer reactions and random things, usually revolving around movies, or definitely movie sort of based stuff. So if you like that, there's a few lists on there to go for if you want. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know what you thought of this film. Let me know possibly your favourite death and stuff, and maybe try not to be too spoilery, but if you want to spoil it, obviously do it in a subtle way so it's not really too much. But if you haven't seen the film, please don't read the comments. That'll probably help as well. But thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon. But get out to your cinema. Go see this film. It's worth it. And we've really got to support cinemas, because I do think it's a lacking thing. We've got to really push cinemas now, definitely, because they're a good place to go. It's still fun to go sit in a cinema and watch a film on a big screen and have your popcorn and your drink and just laugh when other people are laughing. It makes you feel good. What am I going to see next? I don't know. I really want to see that Sinners. I saw a trailer for that Sinners. That looked really good. So I'm hoping to see that one soon, like vampires and Creed. I'll see you later, guys. Have a good night. Bye.